Hi, everybody, and welcome to another episode of And Now You Know with Betty and Julz. I'm Betty.
And I'm Julz.
And today we're going to be talking about stop making excuses so that you can turn your life around and set yourself up for success.
Yeah, we do a lot of reading and we look at a lot of social media posts and we get a lot of great topic ideas from that. And this post came up and it really was about stop making excuses for his behavior. But it's not just about his behavior. It's about people you work with. It's about family members.
And it's also about your behavior in a relationship.
That's what, And that's kind of, my main platform. Betty and I are on the same page with a lot of things, but of course she's got her individual life and I've got mine. And so my big thing is about looking yourself in the mirror and being accountable to yourself and realizing the parts of whatever's going on in your life that you don't like and changing it and stop making excuses to yourself.
And I agree because I'm constantly, the whole mirror thing I agree with because I always say, if you've watched any other episode, I am sure you've heard me say, if you're not changing it, you're choosing it. Mm-hmm. And that really kind of coincides with this, stop making excuses, because even if we're talking about in the work sense, right?
Yeah.
If you are at a job, you're continuously complaining about your boss, you're complaining about your coworkers, you're complaining about what they're making you do and all that stuff, the person in there that's responsible for all that is you.
Yep.
And so your behavior, your choices, that's where I think, stop it.
Yeah.
Stop doing that.
It's so funny because Jay and I were on a walk the other day and I've been experiencing some anxiety and Betty knows that because I allow myself to. I sit here on these episodes and tell everybody to get a hold of their mind and their thoughts. And I promise you, I have to exercise that same theory.
We do
daily, because I will wake up and it's just like my stupid bitch complex is fully enforced. And I don't know why. I just believe it's the enemy trying to attack me and keep me from having a good day. And I refuse to do that. But we were walking the other day and Jay said, "You seem like you're feeling better today." And I said, I am. And I am guilty of pretending. I pretend like I'm helpless sometimes. I pretend.
Stop that bad behavior right now.
Stop it. Stop making excuses. I pretend that, I'll eat too much ice cream and cookies and gain weight. And then I pretend that I can't lose weight. And I'll see somebody who looks great and I get jealous. Mm-hmm. But then I remember, I look in the mirror and I stop making excuses and I am accountable to the fact that I ate too many hot fudge sundaes.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm fat.
You're not fat.
I'm not.
You're not.
I am not. And I've lost like 8 pounds. So, but then I pretend, in the last job we were in, I wasn't happy. And I remember saying to you, it's time to stop pretending this is the only place I can work and make money.
Right.
We can design our own lives and we can design our relationships.
And that's when life gets really awesome, when you do decide that, I'm the one that's supposed to make that change. I'm the one that has the choice to do it. I'm the one that has the power. If I don't like it, okay, I'm going to change it.
Right.
And it's easier said than done. That's true. Easier said than done. But the reality is that if you're waking up every morning, my sister, it's so funny. My sister told me about the whole Sunday scary thing. And I thought it was the most hilarious thing. And for people that have the Sunday scaries, that right there, that's a choice. It is a choice.
It is.
Because you're choosing to keep yourself in a place that continuously gives you the Sunday scaries. And I understand we all need to make a living. I understand we have children and families and, spouses and whatever. We have people to provide for and we have to be responsible. But at the same time, keeping yourself in it is not doing you or anybody else any good.
Yep. And this thing that I read about making excuses, like I say, it was primarily towards, it was like stop making excuses for him. Mm-hmm. And I was in a relationship where I was great at making excuses. And we talk a lot about not being around people that make you shrink.
Right.
To make them feel better. And I did do that.
I did that too.
And
I
allowed relationships to make me feel like I was the problem, that I was being too sensitive, that I was overreacting in all the chaos that was going on. And lo and behold, when I made the change, I realized that it wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't me at all.
Well, there are a couple bullets that you read to me earlier. Read a couple of those.
So, let's just go.
And it's okay. It's okay if they're the ones about him, because we have something to say about it.
Well, the first one says he knows exactly what he's doing. And this isn't just about him. This is about anybody that is making you feel. If you've got a feeling, it's like, that didn't make me feel good.
Right. That's exactly where I was going to go, is that if you go back to trusting your gut, you always know when there's something that needs to be addressed. And we're going to talk about him for a minute. And in my case, we've talked about being in relationships and making excuses for your partner. But I also want to talk about if you're dating, and I'll make this brief because we want to talk about other things today, not just dating. But
that's what I was saying earlier. Like, you're in this lane.
Yes.
And so you naturally gravitate to that, and I'm over here,
right? And that's true.
Pretending that I'm helpless.
And it's true. The reason why I even bring this up is because I talk to people all the time that are people like me who are, on chapter 2 of their lives. They're dating and they're trying to figure out their path and all of that stuff. And it's so interesting because we share stories and people share them with us, and I share them with Julz, and we constantly talk about it. But the whole thing about he knows exactly what he's doing is, it's so funny. If you are not clear about what you want and what you don't want and what's acceptable to you and what is a red flag to you, if you are not clear about all those things, you end up becoming that person.
Yeah.
He knows exactly what he's doing, and you're the one going along for the ride. There are women that are constantly talking about these dating experiences that are absolutely horrible. The treatment, how they're spoken to, and it's not even derogatory. It's not even just that. It's kind of being bamboozled into believing that somebody's interested.
But you know what? I was reading another article the other day on this, and a lot of times when that's going on, it's kind of a narcissistic victim dance.
Yeah.
And so what happens is that they make you think they love you so much, and they give you Disneyland for a period of time, and then they treat you like crap.
Yeah, well, that
you're so addicted. You become you're like, oh, he's just having a bad day.
Right.
But this list says he's not having a bad day every single day.
Right. And so even if you're not in the relationship, if you're already feeling kind of this dance, we have a friend who just went through this, and she said it was beautiful. The treatment was amazing, and she felt like, wow, he's the real deal. I've never felt this before. And then a little bit later, it all changed. Yeah. And so it's like, in dating, I know for a fact that people are feeling that kind of weird, this doesn't feel right. But you stay in it because it feels like, oh, but he's nice. But he treats me whatever.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah, but you know it.
Right.
I'm coming.
You're right.
I knew it. Yeah. I knew that. I didn't know it was going to be the way that it ended up being a lot worse than I thought that it was going to be.
But it's exactly what you said, making the excuses, which makes you stay in it longer, when otherwise, if you were very clear about what you want and what you don't want, and how you value yourself and what you deserve, if you were very clear about that from the very beginning, you wouldn't stay there past a second after that thing happened.
Well, and you just sent me a clip the other day, and it was talking about dating is for marriage.
Oh my God! I wish I don't have that pulled up right now.
It was talking about. I've got it on here, but it was talking about when you see the things that are going on, and this isn't the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. End it.
End it immediately. Why stay in it?
Because the longer you let it go on, the harder it's going to be on you to end it. Because we get it. We're creatures of habit. And trust me, you don't want to be in a trauma bond situation.
Exactly.
Because that is, and I've read a lot. Betty's been gone, so I've been doing a lot of reading.
I was in Puerto Rico at the Bad Bunny concert, and it was so amazing. I just had to
and
drop
I was
that
home
in there.
reading.
And she was home reading.
But it was talking about if you're in a trauma bond relationship, which I was in, that it is 20% harder to break that addiction than heroin. Mm-hmm. Dr. Hemfeld told me, he said, this is going to be like getting off of heroin. And when I read that just over the weekend, it's 20% harder. And I hear heroin. I've never done heroin. So
me neither.
I'll pray for you people out there if you are doing that. I hope you're not. But you can break that addiction too.
You can. Yeah. I mean, clearly not easy, but doable.
Yes. But
I'm going to read a couple of these bullet points because I hope that these ring true to you if you are somebody that is maybe in a situation like this, where it says he's not tired when he's ignoring you or your feelings. He's not busy when he doesn't have time to return a call or a text message. Mm-hmm. Stop giving him reasons for his unreasonable behavior. Stop explaining away his choices like he's a child. It is crazy to me how people find themselves in these loops. Like, if you actually step back from it, it sounds crazy. It sounds like, how would you ever get caught up in something like this? You're not asking for too much when you're asking for respect.
Yeah.
You're not overreacting when you get upset about being mistreated. People just ignore themselves. They ignore their feelings. They ignore their gut. They ignore the value that they should be.
Well, this is where the gaslighting comes in.
Right.
And they have a tendency to go, "What? You're the crazy one. Look at how you're acting. You are too sensitive. You're too demanding. You require too much." If it's what you require and it's on your list and they're normal things, it's not asking too much to be respected.
Well, and when you do have a clear list and you know the things that you want, when that person is unable to give it to you, you just cut them loose and be done with
just
it.
Say, I thank you for your time. Yes. You're not what I'm looking for.
You're not what I'm looking for. I do not feel that this, is going to lead in the direction of what I'm looking for. And you know what? Regardless of however they choose to be, recognize the fact that we're not here to change anybody.
No.
And the behavior that they have is unacceptable to you. That doesn't mean, like, you don't keep them around. You don't try to change their behavior. You don't try to help them understand why it's offensive or demeaning or belittling or whatever. Right. It's not your job to do any of that. It's your job to stop making excuses. It's your job to choose you over somebody that makes you feel less than.
Well, in this one, stop accepting treatment that you wouldn't wish on your worst enemy. That happens. We can get in a place in a relationship where we find certain treatment acceptable, and you need to find out, is it you've got a comfortable lifestyle?
What's good about you staying?
What's good about you staying?
What is it about it that's allowing you to close your eyes, right? It's like you're going, close your eyes and cover your ears, la, 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 that whole thing. What is it about it that's making you completely disregard what you know is actually the truth for you in order to stay?
You know what the truth is.
Yeah.
And it feels bad. It feels icky. It feels like you're constantly walking on eggshells. Mm-hmm. You never know who's going to come in the back door at night. You don't know who's going to show up. And some people just enjoy treating other people like that because it's a control, it's a manipulation, and they really can make you smaller.
Yep. You just reminded me, there's a movie clip that just came to my mind. And I'm not even sure what movie it is, but it's a movie with Dakota Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
And she's sitting at a table. If somebody knows the title of this movie, please drop it in the chat.
If I do.
You might know it. So she's sitting at a table with her boyfriend. And, they are having a conversation over breakfast. And he says to her, "I think we should break up." And she says, "Okay." And
she's, I love it.
As calm as can be. She's like, "Okay." And then
It's not 50 Shades of Grey, is it?
No. It's definitely not 50 It's definitely not 50 Shades of Grey. But she literally is sitting there as calm as can be, and he throws a fit. What do you mean? You're not more upset about this? And then she's like, whoa, wait a minute. You're breaking up with me. And she is, again, calm as a cucumber, nice and cool, right? And so she's like, you're breaking up with me. How are you the one that's upset about this?
And that's how they do it, though.
And then he continues to try to gaslight her, to try to get this, emotional reaction out of her. And then she's like, well, what did you expect? Did you want us to cuddle? And it's the best. I think it's so awesome.
I want to know what that movie is.
Well, then he flies off the handle and, starts.
Well, then she does want to break up with him.
Yeah. And it was like the most, this is the power of the okay and the calm, right? That scene was so awesome. And that's really when you start going into this thing right here, their behavior, their outrage, their gaslighting, all the things that's going on over there. If you can just stay centered and stay in your place and just say, okay.
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't work for me, but okay.
No. And this one's so good. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep him warm. I do want to do a shout out. I found this on Facebook. Matthew Coast. He's the one who posted it. Thank you, Matthew. We want to give you credit for this.
Yep, absolutely.
But all these things.
And the list is pretty extensive, so definitely go on there and read the rest of it. My absolute favorite of all is choose your peace over his presence. I have said it a million times over. I would rather be single forever than to allow any of this to happen. And I have allowed it in the past. I have. But now I know better. And now you know better, so you do better.
I think that a good indication that maybe you have been letting these things control your life is if you are given an opportunity to be all alone. How are you
that's a good one.
handling that?
Yep.
How do you feel? Because I know that when I got out of my relationship and I was all alone, I thought I was going to die. I mean, like for real. Mm-hmm. I thought that I was going to die. Now, I hadn't started my therapy yet, so I didn't. Give yourself the opportunity to understand why you're feeling the way that you do. So when I got the label of this is an addiction, and it's as hard to get off of as heroin, that clicked with my brain, and I was like, okay, then I hear that if you stay away from your addiction for 21 days, it starts getting easier.
Yep.
So you take those days and you just put one foot in front of the other every single day. Don't try to eat the whole elephant.
Right. And this is why the no contact rule exists.
Yep.
Because you have to, if you're in a situation and you keep getting pulled back into it, you will never break free from it because you just continue to allow it. So the no contact rule is get rid of them, block them. They can't call you. Do not respond to text messages. Get rid of them on social media. Literally everything, because that's how you can become stronger and take one step at a time. It's not easy when you're in the bottom of the pit. It's
but
not
you're not
easy.
responsible for their happiness.
You're not. You have to figure out a way to put yourself, your mental, your spiritual, everything about you, your sanity has to come first.
Yeah.
You're responsible for your own happiness.
And they are responsible for their happiness.
And they're responsible for theirs.
You can be with someone that you like to make happy. You can do things to make them happy.
Yes, I think when two happy people come together, this is what I want for myself, and this is what I want for everybody.
Yeah.
Yes, when you are happy by yourself, like I actually love my life.
Yeah,
I travel. I do all sorts of amazing.
You want somebody to come visit. But
it's
got to be the right guy.
It has to be the right guy because I will not be in a relationship with the wrong guy. I would rather be single forever.
Absolutely.
There is no reason I have such an amazing life, and I don't have a fear of being alone. I love my quiet time. I love my spa days. I love traveling. I love being able to just pick up and decide what do I feel like doing today. So it has to be a pretty awesome guy for me to let go of my awesome life.
Yeah,
because I don't want that. I'm not letting it go for any.
That's when you've gone through
right
the pain of getting to know yourself and treating yourself the way that you want to be treated.
Right.
And
that's where happy plus happy
Yep.
equals awesome.
Yeah.
And then you make each other happy because you were happy to begin with.
Exactly.
You add to each other's, experiences and richness and love and all of the excitement. You're supposed to add to it. You're not supposed to be the one dragging them along, trying to convince them that they should be happy.
No, you'll drown.
No, that's not your job.
You'll drown. I mean, you are trying to, keep your head above water, and then they are an anchor around your ankle and they're pulling you down, but you're trying to pull them. I mean, it's too hard. If it's not coming easy, that's one of the things that was so almost foreign to me with Jay when we first started dating. First of all, he told me that he was looking for his new best friend. And I was like, that's weird.
No, I think that's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yeah.
I've never had a man say that to me before. And guess what? Me and Jay are best friends. Mm-hmm. I love to be with Jay. He loves to be with me. We can be together 24/7 and not ever get tired of each other. Mm-hmm. It's nice.
Yes,
it's cool.
I believe that is, when you're going to be with somebody, I'm just going to say it because I just read this too earlier. Love is never enough. It can't
not
just
even
be,
comes close.
because
No.
I love them, because they give me butterflies, because
No.
whatever.
No.
Love is never enough. It is amazing, and I think the way it should be, where you have an amazing friendship,
Yep.
and you trust each other, and you look out for each other, and you want to do all the things together, and you can have amazing conversations
Mm-hmm.
together, and you can be vulnerable with each other. My God, if you can't do that with your partner,
No.
whatever.
No, it's so cool to be on a walk with Jay and be able to say, hey, I just figured out that I've been pretending that I can't lose weight. I've been pretending that I can't make any money. I've been pretending. I let the doubt overtake the reality.
Yeah.
But to be able to say that to him and him not,
and him not disregard
Right,
your feelings.
right.
That's the other thing. If you have it, because that's one of the things in here, if you're trying to express yourself to your partner, this is one behavior that is unforgivable, unexcusable. If your partner has done something to hurt your feelings or to offend you, and you try to go to them to say, "Hey, I just want to let you know it made me feel a certain kind of way, and I don't understand this, or I'm going to ask you for a little clarity or whatever." If you are trying to go to your partner to let them know and express yourself, and they cut you down for that, and they say, get over it, wasn't a big deal, whatever. Like, if they just completely try to dismiss your feelings, I'll tell you right now, that right there, get rid of them.
Yeah.
I think that partner right there does not have the capacity, the emotional intelligence to be able to connect with you to say, oh my gosh, that wasn't my intention. Mm-hmm. However, I'm so sorry I made you feel that way. We're not saying that you did it on purpose.
No.
We're saying that there should be a level of love and respect for your partner, that you hear them out, that you understand that even if it wasn't intentional, you hurt their feelings. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with acknowledging that. The opposite is true if you don't acknowledge it and you are just a total jerk about it to your partner. That in that moment, your partner will feel like they are not emotionally safe. Yep. They're going to feel like they can't express themselves. They're going to feel like they're going to have to bury their feelings. The moment you feel like you have to bury your feelings, sweep things under the rug, put a smile on and pretend like everything's always okay, you're already headed for...
That's the beginning of walking on eggshells.
Absolutely.
And if
you're already headed for it.
If you let it keep going on, they're testing you to see what you will allow them to do and how you're willing to be treated.
Right. Right.
The other thing that was really foreign to me about Jay early on is that I would tell him this, not even early on, it was after we got married, but I would say, oh my gosh, I'm doing this or whatever, and this is going to happen. And he'd be like, I'm so happy for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, you're happy for me? This is for us. And he was like, no, this is yours. Now, he said, I will, get to enjoy the benefits of it, but you've worked hard for this. Mm-hmm. You deserve it. And I'm so happy for you.
Yeah. Know what?
I've never been treated like that before.
I think that's true in any relationship, because I have had people tell me, like when somebody gets a new job or when somebody is doing something, a milestone, something that they're thrilled about, and I want to celebrate with them. A lot of times people, if they've not had supportive family and friends around them, they find that to be a little weird, like, what do you want out of it? And it's like, I don't want anything. I just want to celebrate with you.
Right.
Because you know how I am. I want to win. I want
Betty,
everybody to win, and I want to celebrate everybody else's wins,
one of Betty's
too.
saying is, you can't compete with me because I want us to both win.
Yeah.
And I know that to be, I'm that way too.
Yeah.
And I love to celebrate people's success.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun.
Yep.
So, and it's really nice if you happen to be married to someone who has that mentality and they don't want to take ownership. It's really nice. So, I mean, I just thought this was so good.
Yeah, I love this. I love everything about what's on here. And again, it's very lengthy and we didn't read every single point, but this is so good for you to read if you're dating, if you're in a relationship, if you're maybe thinking about getting out of a relationship, if you feel like that, is something wrong with me because I think X, Y, and Z. Just read through this because it really opens your eyes.
It does.
To
Matthew Coast.
And then I also would say, even work related too. If you read through here and you have coworkers or bosses that, you read some of these and you're like, oh my gosh, that's so them. This is something to really examine because again, it goes back to you. It goes back to your choices, the behavior that you're tolerating, the behavior also that you are showing other people. Because as Julz always says, you train people how to treat you.
Yep.
And so if your behavior is letting them think that this is okay, that goes back to you.
They're going to keep doing it.
That goes back to you.
They'll keep forcing the hand, and they will. It'll get worse. It escalates.
Yep. Because people are always going to push for how much more can I get away with?
Right.
How much more can, and they'll just keep
if they're that
pushing.
personality
If they
type,
are,
it's kind of like work. I'm always shocked when people say, "Ugh, I had to work till 10 o'clock last night." And I'm like, oh, do you get overtime? No. I'm like, why are you doing that?
Yep.
Why didn't you go home and eat dinner with your family? Why do you do something and then you gripe about it?
Yep, that's bad behavior.
Stop doing
and
it.
that's no boundaries.
It's
right there.
no boundaries.
Yep.
And we have the right to put boundaries around every single relationship that we have. Mm-hmm. I mean, even with your family, with people you work with, friends. Some of them don't need boundaries. There's a boundary that's already there. Or there's a mutual respect is a better way to put that.
Right.
So I don't have to put a boundary with you.
No, not at all.
I mean, I just don't. I don't with Jay and, there's just some.
Because I have boundaries for myself. And for example, this is an example for my coworkers. Like I used to run, I had a sales team. And when people wanted to take time off, I never called people on their vacation time. No. And that's, I expect that for myself. Yes. And I respect that for other people. Now, in the past, I had people that I worked with, they didn't care if you were on vacation time. They don't care if you were homesick. They were calling you and asking for stuff. That is so disrespectful.
It really is.
But you keep answering the phone. You keep doing what they want you to do when you're on vacation. You keep traveling with your laptop.
She doesn't care.
She doesn't care. She'll do it.
Yeah.
She'll do it. She's happy to do it. No one's happy to do that.
No.
Yeah, no one's happy to do that. So that right there is a great example of like, be respectful and treat people how you want to be treated. When I go on vacation, I do not carry my laptop.
No.
I'm not bringing it with me because don't call me asking me to do anything. No, I'm on vacation.
No.
So I think that needs to be respectful, normal behavior, and you should never feel guilted into working when you're on vacation.
No,
that's your family time.
I used to, not during work, but that too. But I was so codependent that I just wanted to make sure I made everybody happy. Yeah. And then in the course of doing that, I was so miserable. But I'm not going to say who said this. I'm not going to give him the credit, but they said it, and it was intelligent. It says you can't create a situation and then bitch about it. And there's a lot of truth in that. You just can't.
Right. That's
so
true.
It's like, if you don't like it, why are you allowing it to happen?
Right. Right. And there's this quote, this other quote, and I post this every year on social media. It's probably around right now is probably a good time to post it. But it says that your circle, the people around you, they should be cheering for you the loudest.
Yep.
They should be supporting you. They should be right there by your side when you're going through whatever it is that you're going through. And if you don't have people around you that you feel supported by, that are not like shouting from the rooftops for your success and for your wins, you need a new circle.
Yep.
You need some new friends.
Yep.
You need to get rid of whoever is around you that's anchoring you and pulling you down by your ankles, and get the people that will lift you up and will absolutely inspire you, elevate you, want to celebrate you. Like, I don't think we celebrate people enough.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yep.
It's interesting. You get to decide how you're treated.
Yep.
That's just the bottom line. Is that you are in control more than you realize that you are. You're in control of what you let your mind think. I mean, I'm just really on a warpath right now. Warpath's probably not the right word, but I am truly trying to meditate and manifest and, say things like, why are people so attracted to me? Why do I love money so much? Why, ask those questions and start living your life like you're already where you want to be.
Right. And that is what they always say is you act as if it's already there, right? That is tricking your mind, and it actually is really powerful. So instead of repeating the negativity that keeps you in the negativity because of the momentum that it just continues to unfold, right? It just gets faster. We talked about this on another episode when we were talking about the snowball, right? So instead of doing that,
I'm so excited.
I know.
Talking over you.
Instead of doing that and continuing the negative, basically hamster wheel, instead of doing that, start feeding your brain, start feeding your mind with, you talk yourself into it, all the positive things that you want to see happen, and you do it in the present moment.
Yeah. So another, did I send this to you?
No, I haven't seen that.
I've sent this to.
But I love her.
Yeah. Mel Robbins, who, I don't know if y'all know her or not, but she is phenomenal. Most people do. But she just posted on YouTube the 3-day challenge that will rewire your mind. And it's just really about how are you talking to yourself. And if you start talking to yourself the way that you want to be spoken to, when somebody else treats you in a way that's not acceptable, you won't have a problem putting those boundaries up.
Yep. And I can tell you 100% I am who I am today. My life has changed a million times fold, I can't even believe who I am today and how I feel today. I'm a completely different person than I was 5 years ago. And it's because I started to feed my mind with all of this.
Yep.
Tony Robbins, Mel Robbins, Danny Morell.
And I don't think they're related.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
It's I know they're not related, but it is funny that they have the same last name. But all these people that you just continue to feed your mind, reading great books. Dean Graziosi is another one. I don't know if people, he's in the business world and he does a lot of business coaching and mentoring, that kind of stuff. But he is such a positive, inspiring person. Jamie Kern-Lima is another one. I'm dropping all these names of people that have made such a positive impact in my life because what you just said is absolutely true. I have been, meditation and journaling and speaking affirmations and all of the positivity, the repetition, the mindset, and making sure that you're aligned with people that constantly want you to also move forward.
Yep.
That's how you rewire your brain. That's how you completely change your life.
Well, it's kind of like a car, and sometimes we have to break it down. I know I do, and really make it simple. But it's we have cars that require premium fuel, and even if you don't, mine doesn't. I don't want a car that requires premium fuel. I've had them before, but we still go get our oil changed. We get our tires rotated. We watch what we do to take care of our car, and it's like the food that we put in our body. If we put crap in our body's going to look like crap. If we don't exercise our body, we're going to lose. You use it or you lose it. So we've got to feed our minds the right things. And then we won't allow people to treat us in ways that we don't want to be treated.
Totally agree. If you have a strong mind,
treat yourself the way you want to be treated.
Exactly. If you are focused on that, you are not one to be taken advantage of. It just won't happen.
No.
It won't happen because you are so prepared and solid in who you are, what you believe, where you're going, who you want around you. You will not get caught up with all this stuff.
No.
You won't.
And you will savor the moments in your life that you have to be just with yourself.
Yep. Yep.
You really will.
There are amazing podcasts aside from this one that you should be binge watching all the time. Aside from this one, the School of Greatness by Lewis Howes is an amazing one to always listen to. That's a really good one. There's also another one, Impact Theory. That's another really, really good one. And then Mel Robbins also has
Always.
a podcast.
Yeah.
There are so many great podcasts, and Jay Shetty is also one of my favorites. So there are all these people. You can't say that it's not available. You can't say that you don't know where to look. There's amazing podcasts. There's amazing books. There are amazing people right around you. You just have to open your eyes and let people in that want to inspire and uplift and motivate.
Take 30 minutes to put something good in your mind. I mean, we get up and we do a devotion and prayer time, and we start our day that way. And then obviously we read a lot. We listen to different podcasts. I just constantly want to be nourishing my mind and my heart and my soul. Because if I don't, then I go back into pretend mode.
Yes, it's easy. It's easy to fall right back into this pit. It's easy. And you know what? That is what the masses are doing. And that is what is easiest.
Yep.
It is the easiest, most familiar thing to just let yourself get down there in the muck of it all.
Yep.
That is the easiest place. It does require more work and more, what is what I'm looking for? Not only more work, but also like you have to want to do the work. You have to want it for yourself. You have to want to like rewire your mind, and it does require action. It requires you to move forward.
If you allow yourself to fall to the bottom of the pit, it is harder to climb out. But you either reach a place in your life where you just decide to wallow in your self-pity, and that's where you're stuck, and you pretend that you are helpless and you can't do anything about it. I did that for a little bit in my life. But then you finally decide that you want to start trying to climb out of the pit. Yep. So you learn how to climb out of the pit and make yourself be a better version of who you are. And this journey is never over. The minute you stop learning, that's when your life is over. So keep stretching, keep putting the right things inside of you, food-wise, your mental clarity, all of it.
Yep. And
I don't know. So
here we are today. This episode, how it started, it was all about stop making excuses, right? And it's not only about his behavior, her behavior, their behavior. It's also about your behavior.
Yep.
And I hope that in this episode, you were able to hear this from a place of love, because it really is from a place of love. But we also gave you a lot of really great ways to get started on that path, to move you in the right direction. We understand how hard it is. I remember when I was curled up in a ball, and I also felt like I was dying.
Yep.
My entire life was shattered, and I felt like, what am I going to do now? But that's the fear and the uncertainty is what keeps people stuck. And what is so amazing, we promise you that if you move past the fear, what you will see, what you will experience, what you will feel is such an amazing life full of peace, love, and joy.
Yep.
But you have to get up.
You do.
You have to get up, you have to get moving, and you have to stop it with the behavior, stop it with the excuses for yourself.
Yeah, your own. I mean, if you are making excuses for him or somebody at work or anybody in your life, then I assure you that you're making excuses for yourself.
100%. What you do out there is what you do in here. 100%.
Period. So, our timer went off.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for joining us. We are super, super excited for this platform to continue to grow. We have some more things in the works that we're going to be sharing with you a little bit later on. Thank you for spending a part of your day with us. And if you have any comments or you want to have any specific topics that you want us to talk about, you can go ahead and put it in the comment section below, or you can shoot us an email. We read all the emails. We respond to them personally. So you can send us an email at hello@bettyandjulz.com. BETTE
and JULZ.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next one.
Bye.
Bye.